Mike was just talking about how Oklahoma went zone on you guys last time, really shocked you. How do you feel like the guys are ready for that potential in this one?
I think it's funny because I always ask the coaches how much zone, and I think I had asked Coach Henderson. He scouted me. He said, "Coach, I'm telling you, it might be 3-4 possessions all year at that point." And we kind of joked. We had just gone against Tulsa's zone for like 4 or 5 days, and then we actually torched it, and they had to get out of the zone. That game before that. So when they went zone, I guess it shocked us because we didn't expect it, but it's not like we hadn't worked against it then within that week. We just kind of froze and we didn't flatten it out, and we didn't get the ball moving, we didn't cut. And the other part was that was when X had those fouls, and he's out, and he's the guy that's, he's older, he's the guy flashing, he was actually the guy that was hot in the game. So they played a little more zone. Basically, when they get behind, they play zone, and then or just one. They did Mississippi State, I think, a couple possessions just to change it up. So hopefully we'll be a little more aware. We've obviously practiced against it, what we did last time too. That doesn't mean we'll go and execute it any better. We'll see what happens.
How do you evaluate the way like Mac played against Bama? The numbers on paper look great, but then there's some missed opportunities.
I told him last night, if he plays with that energy and effort the rest of the year, we're gonna be fine. The 13 points, 12 rebounds, 9 on the play hard, 3 block shots, but as you just said, 2 or 3 other opportunities to finish at the hoop. And then, if he does those, he's big time. And I think it wasn't the Kansas game, but even the game before that, he didn't get to play a lot of minutes, West Virginia. But, he's had opportunities of finishing around the hoop. And if he gets those, obviously it helps our offense. There's no doubt, with that. But I texted with him last night. I just said, I just want your energy and effort. If you can do that, it would be nice if you finish those and just dunk it, but if not, at least we're getting something that's productive for us.
Bruce, first time this season you guys are going to play 3 games in 6 days, and these are big ones with OU, West Virginia, and Baylor. How crucial is this stretch, and how important is it to be able to look good against Oklahoma to be able to get momentum going forward?
Well, I think it's important, but all we're trying to emphasize right now is just each game, each possession. That's all we can really focus on. There's no doubt, that, as a coach, I sat down this morning with Coach Corn because he's got Baylor scout, and you're going to have basically 24 hours in class time, to get ready. So, and it's the number 1 team in the country, so that doesn't make it easy on us, but it is what it is. I guess we're at home. I'm not sure who Baylor has on Saturday, but. But right now we just got to worry about, the first possession against Oklahoma, being ready to play and seeing if we can come with the energy and effort that we did against Alabama, that we did against West Virginia. I think we'll be fine, but we have to do that and key words beginning of year, I said consistency, efficiency, and dependability, and those are still the key words for us to make any type of progress.
What are your early impressions of Casey Iziagu in practice so far?
I'll let Wyatt just he's seen him a couple times, but the first day he was really, really good when Wyatt was there. And the one thing he could do, and we hadn't watched before, and we watched tape, was he can run. He's athletic. He is our tallest player. I didn't. He's taller by Mac by several inches, and he's long, and he's a great young man. Very polite, very good. Just intelligent. He wants to do well. He's going to work very hard. He will run the ball screen. He will run to the hoop. He will play his butt off. He's very, very physical. He literally got one of our guys to quit in practice the other day because he was going so hard. And now he's fresh. He hadn't done anything in a month, and those guys are fighting through the grind of the season. But there's no doubt it gives us, with Davion, who's played pretty well, had a good senior year, but I've told you before, his family, his guardians, they know he's not going to be 35 minutes a game. He's going to need help. So now you have Levi, an older veteran. You got Casey with, hopefully length and athleticism, and then Davion. And then, we'll see what happens with Nigel if he can stay healthy and give us anything. But you got some, you got some size and length inside, and be a little different than we've been, in recent history.
Given the circumstances of the last week, what's the collective mindset this team?
We try to stay positive. Even I blew up on him the other night, but and I told him when I stopped yelling, I stopped caring, and I haven't stopped caring, and that I hope that I don't think they have. I don't think that's even a question. I think just like that might have been our best effort. I mean, this is Alabama. If you watched them, they're as talented, physically gifted, and athletically as anybody we played all year. And we out-rebounded them. We played harder than them. We just didn't play very smart. So I think the effort's still there, the mindset. We just got to be a little more efficient and play a little smarter to have a chance.
Are you comfortable with your team playing at that pace as the season?
I did not like the number of shots we put up, but some of it was because we got a lot of offensive rebounds that we had the opportunity. Now and that's what one of the players brought up, Coach, they only had 40 opportunities. Well, but they had 37 free throw opportunities. So, that was the difference in it. And then obviously we played a little frantic at the end of the game, trying to get back into it. So you had more possessions. But, the whole thing there was control the pace at the tempo of the game. And I thought we did a pretty good job first half, even with foul trouble. Second half, we got behind, had to play a little frantic, get back into it. We got back into it, but that we should have had a better pace and a better poise down the stretch of the game.
Bruce, more than anything else, with the start of Dejuan, were you hoping that that's what you would get?
I thought he did great. Just great energy, tip ins. It just. He plays so hard. He wants to do well. He was in the gym this morning between class shooting, and that it just shows how much he cares and he wants to do well. Again, foul trouble hurt him in the second half. Coach, I didn't do anything second half, so he didn't get to play. And so it's and I've said before, and he knows it. He's got to get stronger, and that. We can't do much about it now, but we got to keep his confidence. We got to keep his energy, and he's got to keep playing hard like that.
After watching the tape, how well did you think Montavious played?
Oh, I thought it might have been his best game of his career here at K-State. I mean, 8 points, 8 rebounds. That dude he went against, Jones is on the draft list, and who was the factor in the game? Montavious was. So in this particular game, now that guy's a really good player. We did a good job on their other kid, the shooter. Obviously Kyra we did not do as good a job, and he kind of took it to us. But their balance and efficiency ended up winning the game. So, but I was really happy with Montavious, and he had been pretty good against West Virginia. He apologized for Kansas. He said, Coach, I'm not sure what happened, but he did come back and played with really good energy and did a lot of good things. I love that he finished around the hoop because he hasn't always done that.
With Mac, it seems like his finishing ability is much higher when he catches the ball when he's stationary opposed to when he's on the move.
Yeah.
Is that something you talk about with Dave and the other guards?
Well, and get it to him high. When they get it to him on the move and low, it has not been a good combination. And but sometimes that's the pass that's open. You're coming off a ball screen, you got that quick bounce pass that's there. But he's disappointed himself. The guards get a little frustrated at times because they'll make good passes. I just want him to catch it and explode and go dunk. If he misses a dunk, I don't care. That's what I've been getting him to be, more aggressive with the basketball.
Are you planning on having Cardi come off the bench?
I don't know. We'll see how they practice today and how things go. It could be. So it's I don't think it matters who started. He played 32 minutes, and the only reason we started him second half the other night is because David had 3 fouls, and and the crazy, and that's, you guys always ask, should you play him with 2? Well, we played David with 2, and he got a 3rd, and then he played about 8 seconds and got a 4th. So that's why coaches, it's great to sit there and cheer and watch TV, and why don't they play him? Well, that's why we don't. Now you don't have them in the game, so it's just, it's a hard thing, but we tried to protect David in the second half, and it didn't work. Obviously, it backfired because they got the run, and we put him back in, and then he got his 4th. But we were still in the game at the end, and on an opponent's court. That's one of the hotter teams in the country, and we just couldn't finish it.
Does Cardiac accept that role coming off the bench?
I don't. He has no choice, does he? So I don't know. He had 32 minutes. He put up 19 shots. So I don't know. I would like him to be a little more efficient, and so that would be nice for us, for everybody.
Sure, you're aware of this, but obviously Selton got a big win last night.
Yeah,
What does that do for this program and the excitement?
It's great. I mean, Davion had a huge weekend. They played in that Quincy shootout in Quincy, Illinois. They had a lot of the top teams around the country, and Davion had, at least I didn't get to go. Obviously, we were in Alabama, but great write-ups. And then for Selton to come back to they had that road trip. They were in the Carolinas and then Virginia, and he played both big wins for them. Obviously, to win at Oak Hill, that's got some national attention, and he did that with 2 fouls right away. We talked to his coach last night and to Selton, but it's great. It's good, good for our future. Obviously, we felt very good about Selton when we recruited him. He's even gotten better than I ever thought he was. I loved his tenacity, how hard he plays. He can create and score in a lot of different ways, but he's had a high level senior year so far, which is good for us. I got to see Luke last week. Played DeSmet in St. Louis. It was a huge Catholic League rival game. Went down to the last basket. And he did well, and then Nigel has had a good senior year. They keep losing to their rival Lawrence North, but it's been good for those guys, and we're excited about their joining our program. Right now we gotta find a way to beat Oklahoma.
Looking ahead one game to West Virginia, when you look at what they've done against everybody but you guys, does that just kind of tell you what you're capable of?
I mean, that's what we told, even Alabama, because you watch them and you were, it's like, man, can we deal with them? But I told the players, I said, we just beat number 12 in the country that has killed people, and not only beat them, but then we had a day. Everyone has a day, when, you're hitting every shot and everything bounces your way, but we have to come, obviously come with that same mindset and compete and play our butts off and give ourselves a chance.
You talk about energy a lot. Is that kind of maybe?
I thought that some of those early games we probably didn't have it. TCU, a couple of those games we just didn't. I thought Oklahoma first time, for 36, 37 minutes, we were really, really good. But for 3 minutes, we weren't, and that was the difference in the game. At Texas Tech, they played really well, and I'm not sure we, had quite the energy I would have liked against them. But they're good and they're athletic and they do different things. So I would say it hasn't. I think we've made some progress, but. We got, again, consistency.
How do you create those late game situations in practice to be able to get better repetitions?
Yeah, it's just the little things. It's the execution. It's a couple of those plays we ran at the end of the game. We had practiced that morning. And then, somebody goes too early. Somebody doesn't get the ball in the right spot. And, we don't make the right read. And then some of it's defense, too. That's the other thing. People, it's not, you can run good offense, but they guard the heck out of you. And, that doesn't always, you can't always control that. So, it's the last thing on our practice thing today. We'll go through some situations and try to simulate it. Some of it is experience, and it goes back. I talked about Dean and those guys. I looked it up. I think we were 2-9 when they were freshmen. Dean made the one shot, and we won on one other close game under 5. You know, and then it was about even, and then it was 8-4, and then it was whatever 12-1 in our favor in close games. So, you know, some of it you need experience and you know, being in those situations. Get